Greetings gamers! Up until recently there has been a bit of a discussion about Xbox One being more powerful than PlayStation. To the point where PlayStation have actually come out and claimed that PlayStation Pro 4 or PlayStation 4 Pro could achieve 8.4 teraflops. And the internet lost their shit. Fanboys of the PlayStation went, ha ha, we got more powerful console than you. Xbox fanboys turned around and went, yeah, but it's half a teraflop, that doesn't count. And the internet had a fucking meltdown. So what we're going to be doing, guys, is basically breaking it all down for you. Now, obviously, in fair disclosure, I actually have a diploma of information and technology. Yes, I'm actually a computer technician by trade, or licensed to be anyway. I gave up that industry because I got sick of telling people their lovely computer they brought 5 years ago is a paperweight. But anyway, so like I said, I have an IT background, so I sort of understand a bit of what they're talking about. But even that said, I've had to go through and research this for 2 or 3 days. It's funny how everybody on YouTube is now an expert. Funny that. But anyway, so guys, we're going to break it all down through. We're going to tell you exactly what PlayStation said. We're going to explain it to you, and we're going to explain what it means possibly between Xbox and PlayStation. Do keep in mind, guys, that this is my point of view, and I'm not a fanboy of either Xbox or PlayStation. I love both consoles equally. So let's break it all down. The original statement was, one of the features appearing for the first time is the handling of 16-bit variables. It is possible to perform 2 16-bit operations at the same time instead of one 32-bit operation. In other words, at full floats we have 4.2 teraflops, which half floats now doubles that, which says 8.4 teraflops in 16-bit compilation. This has the potential to radically increase performance. So what the fuck does it mean? Okay. Basically, guys, 16-bit variant or 16-bit variable or 16-bit operations is where it will actually go through and render an image or a view or a scenery or whatever it may be to something that's not quite 100%. Now, that said, you don't normally tell. Obviously, this is stuff that can get away with being low res. So like for example, the extreme far away mountainscapes or whatever it may be. But 16-bit compilation or 16-bit operations basically is where something doesn't necessarily mean to be 100% rendered. It can get away with being 50, 60, 80%. So it uses the 16-bit to obviously go through. It drops the quality a little bit, yes. But it also allows it to go through and get it rendered at a faster rate. My understanding of what PlayStation is actually talking about here is the fact that, for example, say you're playing Destiny, for example, and they can get away with running 16-bit operations on the background and maybe on the ground or something that you walk on. It can get away with being 16-bit, so it will go through and render those at 16-bit while leaving everything that needs to be at 32-bit possibly running at 32. Right? So what this means is that basically you can go through, it can render 2 or 3 things at once at maybe 80% quality or 50% quality or whatever it may be, allowing it to render at a faster rate, yes, but obviously your quality will not be quite 100%. Sort of like if you got an image, you got, for example, 4 megapixels, or you can drop the image down to 2 megapixels and you don't quite notice it as much. Yeah, it's a little bit different. You put them side to side, but you don't generally notice it because it's gone like that. That's what this image or what this statement means. So the big important thing here, guys, is it really is going to depend on the game. For example, previous games that came out on PlayStation 3, where the quality doesn't have to be rendered at the 32-bit operation, they might be able to get away with running it at 16, for example. And that's where it can go through and obviously get it can, drop the quality a little bit and allow it to go through and get rendered at a faster rate. Anything that's obviously graphics intensive or that needs to be 100% quality will obviously be rendering at the 32. And it's sort of like a little switch in the hardware or in the software where it basically says, well, hey, look, we can get away with rendering that at 16. We'll render that at 16. And then when it comes up to the graphics intensive thing, it says, oh, that's big. That's something that's important. We'll render that at the 32-bit. Okay, that's what it means for that. Another example would be, for example, lighting. That could be done at the 16%. At the 16-bit instead of running at 32. Where, for example, your guns and stuff like that, or your current scenery, that might be running at 32-bit, for example. Now, what does this mean for Xbox? Well, to be honest, we're not quite sure because Xbox hasn't really actually talked about this. So we're not sure if Xbox is going to be running at 6 teraflops at 32, or if it's going to have the same sort of add-on or ability. Considering the fact that Xbox is actually coming out 12 months later, it is possibly something that they could add to it. So that said, you know, if you want to get technical, it means Xbox could go up to 12 teraflops. For example, that was my impression of the fanboy. But yeah, at the moment, we're not quite sure what's happening with Xbox because they haven't really talked about it. They obviously want to keep it close to their hat or keep their cards close to their chest because obviously they don't want to go letting anything out like this that could potentially change or that Sony could use or change or alter or whatever it may be. The competition is very much still alive. Now, obviously, guys, we'll get a better idea of what the Xbox will be doing when it gets closer to release date. My expression or my thought is that if Xbox doesn't have this built into it at the moment, that they will actually be going through and probably trying to put it in because obviously that way they can compete. And at the end of the day, they obviously do want the far superior console. But guys, look, hopefully this has cleared up this whole pissing contest between the fanboys. Let me know what your thoughts are in the description below. Has it gone through and explained it a little bit for you? Or are you still really, really confused and sort of scratching your head going, duh, I don't know what you're talking about? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Guys, apart from that, if this video has been helpful, please smack a like on it. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. And apart from that, gamers, I'll see you playing games. Have a great day and enjoy.